super excited. You know why? We're running up the 21st century learning model very soon. Yes, this is the sixth and last rubric, the use of ICT for learning. And I'm super excited. I promise you today that we'll be learning how to code our learning activities that happen either at home or in school, so we can gauge the level of ICT that is actually happening in the classroom. And of course, you're welcome to the Ed Innovator series. I love to be referred to as the Ed Innovator. Yes, here we discuss innovative ways and methods that we can apply in our classroom or at home to ensure that our children are learning 21st century skills, right? And we are discussing the decision tree of the use of ICT in learning. And of course, we know that the decision tree is a framework that helps smart parents and educators like you and me in designing lesson activities that are fashioned in helping our children improve and hone their ICT skills. It's the 21st century, right? And we should train our children in a smart way. And the only way we can achieve this is by being smart ourselves. So now, the decision tree of the use of ICT in learning rubric answers 4 big questions. What are these 4 questions? The 4 big questions are: 1. Do students actually use ICT in this particular activity? Number 2. Is ICT used for knowledge construction? Number 3. Is ICT actually required for constructing knowledge? And number 4. Are students actually ICT product designers in this activity? So I would like you to know that the codes being referred to in the decision tree does not determine the quality of the learning activity in your classroom. It only helps you determine the degree of ICT skills that is being honed in your classroom or at home, okay? So I want you to have that at the back of your mind. So I want you to take a look at the screen and look at the decision tree, because we would be delving right into it, and I'll be showing you how to code your learning activities. In designing the lesson, you ask the question: is this activity requiring that students use ICT? If the answer is no, we code the activity 1. If the answer is yes, we go further to ask the next question. But I would like to give you an example of a code 1 activity first. So an example of a code 1 activity is when a teacher is using a tablet or using an interactive board in the classroom. So the teacher is using the interactive whiteboard or a tablet to teach, but the students actually using the tablet or the computer for that particular topic. Maybe it's a biology a biology subject on digestive system, for instance. They are learning that particular topic in biology. Are they actually using a computer or using a tablet or using any tool, the internet, for the learning activity? No. So that activity is coded 1 because the students are not actually applying ICT tools in learning. So looking at the next code, we would see that you have to ask the first question: is the activity requiring the use of ICT to learn? If the answer is yes, the next question is asked: does the activity require that the children use the ICT to support knowledge construction? If it does not support knowledge construction, we call the activity 2, right? So for instance, in the classroom or at home, the child is using a particular tool to learn, okay? And yes, he's probably using PowerPoint to answer a particular project or work on a particular project you gave him, but he isn't constructing a new knowledge with the tool you have given him. Then of course that activity is coded 2. But if the answer is yes, the ICT is being used to support knowledge construction, we then go ahead to ask the next question: is ICT required for knowledge construction? If the answer is no, it is coded a 3, because yes, the activity requires the use of ICT, yes, it supports knowledge construction, but no, it is not required for constructing knowledge. Okay? We go ahead to check our activity again. If this activity allows you to use ICT for the activity and is used to support knowledge construction, and then we ask the question, is it required for constructing knowledge? And the answer is yes. Wow, beautiful. Then we go ahead to ask the next question. Are students designers of an ICT product in this activity? If the answer is no, then we code our activity a 4. Yes. But then, if the answer is yes, the activity allows us to use ICT during the activity, it's used to support knowledge construction, is required for constructing knowledge, and students are designers of an ICT product. Beautiful. But then we then ask the next question. Are student designers of an ICT product? If the answer is yes, we then call the activity a 5. Good. So if the activity entails that the students are not designers of an ICT product, it is coded a 4. But if yes, it is determined that students are designers of an ICT product, the activity is coded a 5. And so that is it on the decision tree. So look at the rubric. Take a look at the rubric, and then you will understand the use of ICT in learning further. So number 1, an activity is coded 1 if the students do not use ICT for learning in that particular activity. It is coded a 2 if the students use ICT for learning, but it does not support knowledge construction. It is coded a 3 if the student use ICT for learning, it supports knowledge construction, but is not required for knowledge construction. It's coded a 4 if the students use ICT for learning in this activity, it supports knowledge construction, but is not required for knowledge construction. And it's coded a 5 if all of the big 4 questions are answered and if all the conditions are followed. So basically, I would like you to know that it is not compulsory that all the 4 big questions are answered in your learning activity, okay? All the 4 big questions do not need to be answered. But it's good for you to understand the different levels of ICT in learning that can happen in your classroom. So I hope this was an exciting moment for you. It was exciting for me. At some point I got off my chair because I was feeling it. So yes, I enjoyed it and I hope you did. See you again next time. Bye.